Warning, anime out of context has strong language, spoilers, stupidly wrong ideas, and general silliness. Neither of our hosts are professionals and do not take their opinions as such. Listen at your own discretion, and enjoy.
Hello and welcome to Anime Out of Context, the show where I attempt to explain the sometimes weird, sometimes wonderful, but always hilarious world of anime.
And I am chained up in his basement, please help me.
I'm Shaun Rollins.
I'm Remington Chase.
You're never getting out.
I'm stuck in this anime hellscape forever.
Oh, don't be such a baby. People do care about you, Remington.
Do they? Or do they just care about my pain and suffering and sassy opinions?
Well,
I feel like that's all I am.
Well, that may be true, but I can think of at least one person who seems to kind of care about you.
Oh?
And their name is Taylor. And Taylor...
Oh, okay. Hi, Taylor.
Taylor has given us an anime recommendation.
Oh, why thank you, Taylor.
Yeah, and it's not utter garbage, quite frankly.
Oh, Taylor, you got my back. Come on, Taylor.
Problem is, Remington, though it is not really considered to be horribly bad, I don't think you're gonna like it.
Taylor, what the fuck? You're really letting me down, Taylor.
You know, people have different opinions about different types of shows. You know me pretty well. You know, I have a thing for a lot of shonen shows.
Ah, it's shonen. Okay, it's already not great.
Hey, Fullmetal Alchemist was shonen, and you liked that.
Yeah, it's still a low percentage. Unless it's like the absolute icons, like Fullmetal Alchemist, it's not been doing great.
Quite frankly, this one probably won't do that great either.
Oh, God.
But Taylor sent us an email, as any one of you can do, and asked us if we'd watch a couple anime and see if we could get Remington to like or dislike them.
Okay.
And it's a bit of an interesting one I have for you today because I'll tell you something right now, Remington. Back in the day...
All right, we've shonen and you're going back in the day. Right now, my least favorite anime that we've seen and my least favorite episode we've done was Fist of the North Star, which is a back in the day shonen anime. I hate how this is starting. Taylor, what have you done?
It's not back in the day as in the general day. It's back in my day. Right?
Oh yeah.
Like I'm a bit of an old man. It's been confirmed that.
Oh yeah.
You know, when this anime came out in 2009, so it's not that old.
Okay.
I was kind of a huge fan.
Okay.
And it's an anime that has a special place in my heart.
Well, looking back at like the things you liked at that age, we have such great accolades like Sword Art Online, and so it's not. Oh, there are red flags down this alley nonstop. Yeah,
there's quite a few of those. And this anime was a big, like, turning point for me in anime because it was... It's better than Sword Art Online. I'll tell you that right now. It's
hard to be worse.
It really is, though. It'll be interesting the day we go back to that one. But it's one of those anime that a metric shit ton of people really love.
Okay.
But...
there it is.
It's got a lot of problems.
Yep, sounds about right.
Yeah, and... considering the nature of the shonen anime that came out when I was younger, I liked it a lot. So therefore, of course, I'm going to have a slight bias towards it. But don't worry, I understand its faults. It's just, it might hurt me a little when you insult it here and there.
Our friendship is going to be tested with this anime.
A little bit, but at the same time, oh my god, does this anime have a lot of problems.
Okay.
Don't worry, my bias is there, but it's only...
real popular, but has a ridiculous amount of problems. Just really hyping this up for me, Shaun.
Yeah. I don't think you've heard of it.
Okay.
But...
I am an ignorant boy.
Alright. Question. This is actually a good preparatory episode for me. Do you know what the big three of shonen anime are?
Ooh, big three of shonen anime. Okay, here's gonna be my guess.
Your guess?
Yes. I don't know, like, the official title of who the big three are, but I feel like I can guess.
Well, it's not
based on the fact that I know of about 3 big shonen anime.
Oh, yeah?
So, Dragon Ball Z, easy. 100%.
Okay.
Naruto, easy number 2 spot. But what is that third one gonna be? I'm gonna say One Piece.
You know what, Remington? You're not far off.
I feel like I'm definitely 2 out of 3.
You are, actually.
Oh, all right. What? So it's not One Piece. What is it instead?
Wait, you don't think it's One Piece?
Is it not one of the other 2?
It's not.
What? Dude, I was so confident with Dragon Ball Z and Naruto.
As you should
What
be.
in the world? My world is shattering. Like, out of everything you've taught me about anime, this is the knowledge I have come from previously. These were the tenets that I have known. I was confident. The biggest anime, you got Dragon Ball Z and then Naruto. And I thought One Piece, like, that was the redheaded stepchild compared to the other 2 in my rankings. All right, which one is not a part of that?
You know what, Remington? I'm not going to tell you.
Oh my god.
Because we're not going to be doing that one today. Because I did get a request to do that one, but I'm not ready to cover one of the big 3. So the anime I chose is kind of what people consider to be the 4th member of the big 3.
Oh, okay. I have a couple guesses.
You have a couple, really?
I'm going back into the recesses of my brain.
Okay.
Right? I'm thinking, all right, shonen around. Essentially, I'm just thinking what my weeb friends around then may have talked about.
Okay.
I've heard of one other one.
And?
I'm really like showing 100% of my anime knowledge previous to this podcast.
All right.
Bleach. Am I right? Am I right? The listeners know if it's the title of the podcast. Am I right?
We're not talking about Bleach.
God damn it! Every time I feel so confident.
I don't think you would have heard of this one, even as popular as it was, because...
Yeah, I've exhausted all my knowledge, so I definitely haven't.
I'm going to use this episode as kind of a preparatory thing for me personally to prepare myself to talk about the big 3. To give you a summary, the big 3 of shonen anime are the 3 most popular shonen anime that have been long-running since the early to mid-2000s, and one of them is actually still ongoing today. I'm not ready to talk about any of those because that is a huge kettle of fish I don't want to just dive into.
I'm still just going back and forth whether it's Naruto or Dragon Ball Z that's not included, because either way it blows my fucking mind.
I'm going to let you stew on that for a while,
God.
man. But the show we're going to talk about today is called Fairy Tail.
What?
Fairy Tail.
That's not a shonen title?
Oh, it is, because it's not tail as in T-A-L-E. It's tail as in T-A-I-L. Like a tail.
Oh.
Yeah, because do fairies have tails, Remington?
I guess they could. Is this like Dragon Tales?
No.
That great 90s kids show of my childhood?
Dragon Tales was my favorite anime. No. Fairy Tail is a very popular shonen anime that came out starting in 2009, and the most recent series ended, I believe, in 2016.
What in the world? I was not anticipating this.
No, you've never heard of Fairy Tail.
Never once.
Yeah, it's one of those really popular multi-episode shonen anime.
How is this viewed as, like, maybe not A tier, but B tier? Is it like in similar tier to like Full Metal Alchemist or some shit?
To some people, yes.
What in the...
Because it's one of those anime and manga from, the magazine Shonen Jump. You familiar with that magazine?
I am.
And the big 3 are all manga that were serialized in Shonen Jump, and because of their huge popularity, the fans gave them the title of the big 3, and Fairy Tail, of course, doesn't quite reach their level, but a lot of people kind of say it's the 4th spiritual successor. They say this about a lot of different animes, but Fairy Tail is a popular one to say it of.
This episode is already fucking me up in a lot of ways.
I had to think of some way to screw with you this time.
I just felt like there were a few things that I knew. I knew that I was ignorant, but there were a few things I was confident in, and that's just all been exploded.
Yeah,
and now I know nothing.
I'm breaking some boundaries for you, man.
This is like a Cartesian crisis I'm going through in my mind. It's just I know that I know nothing. It's God. Oh God.
When we do an episode on one of the big 3, you're gonna lose your shit. That's for certain.
Yeah.
Because your world will just crumble around you, and it'll be fun to watch.
Oh man, that's insane. I have no idea of anything.
All right. How about I tell you a little bit about Fairy Tale itself?
Yeah, I'm gonna guess there are fairies.
Not really, no.
What?
I mean, there's not, like, straight up fairies.
What do you
completely.
mean there are no fairies in Fairy Tale?
Well, I mean, it's just a name. It's not necessarily about fairies. What do you...
Continue, Shaun. I'm speechless right now. I'm really messed up right now. Oh my god.
So, Fairy Tale is the story about the world of Fior, which is a world that is...
A world Fior Fairy Tale. Okay, continue.
It's more of a country, really, Fior. And
Cool.
it's a country where magic kind of rules everything. Like, magic is the primary technology source. So everything is kind of powered by magic. People buy magic tools, magic items. They use magic to fight. Things like that.
Yeah.
Because this is a show about wizards.
Okay. Yep.
No fairies, though, because that'd be ridiculous.
That angers me. Why?
Well, I mean, fairies might exist in this world. It's kind of hard to tell.
Why call it Fairy Tale?
Oh, well, because this anime follows the adventures of a very special guild of wizards known as Fairy Tale.
I hate them.
You hate them?
This is awful.
What, just because they don't have actual fairies, you hate them for calling themselves Fairy Tale?
Yes! It's a terrible name!
Why? What makes it a terrible name?
It's like the worst kind of wordplay where it's like, hey guys, like fairy tales, get it? Because they're fairy tales, except we'll spell it like tail. Like you have a tail, like monkey tail. Haha, it's so fun. No.
But do fairies
No.
have tails?
I don't care.
You don't
I
care?
I am in the abyss.
Oh,
I have officially entered the abyss already, and we have yet to see any anime.
Well, if you knew what their guild symbol looked like, would that help you a little bit?
Is it a fairy tale?
It is actually hanging from that picture frame right there.
Oh crap! It's sort of like a fairy with a tail.
Yeah.
I'm just looking at Shaun's room because he has a weeb-like room, and
Well, it's not completely weebish.
it's pretty weebish. So I mean it's a nice little symbol, I guess.
Yeah, and all the guild members have it tattooed somewhere on their body.
Oh god. It's a cool symbol, but you're like, yeah, this right here, it's my fairy tale tattoo, and it's like, you're losing a lot of credibility there, Wizard Jim. You're not.
Wizard Jim.
I'm not feeling that intimidation factor from you.
Well, you would have preferred they joined a guild with a name like, I don't know, Tartarus?
If that's one of the guilds in there, that's much better. You got that Greek mythos, it's dark, it's scary, like, that's way better.
But, I mean, guilds are supposed to be sources of, labor and goodness, They're not supposed to be evil places.
Well, yeah, but you can still have, like, some gruffness about, especially, it's shonen. It's shonen.
Not all shonen is dark and gritty. A lot of it's very colorful and very happy.
My world's been turned upside down, so just continue.
Okay, so the show is about the guild Fairy Tale. More specifically about a couple members of Fairy Tale, because, it may say it's about the guild, or it may say it's about this character, but really it's about these characters right here, right in the center.
Okay.
And there are a couple different wizards with different power sets, and it's just kind of their adventures and how they go through, the day-to-day life of being a wizard in a guild, the battles they fight, the people they save.
What does their guild do?
Yes.
That's not a sufficient answer, Shaun.
It kind of is, because think of wizard guilds as odd job boards.
Oh yeah, let's see. I need my lawn mowed. We can go get some professional, or the wizards are in town. Let's just get them to do it.
And that's the hilarious thing, is you can offer money to the guild as like bounties, and the wizards will do literally any job as long as it's legal. Or it doesn't even have to be completely legal. It just has to be, something that they can do without getting caught.
I don't know how I feel about this. Taylor, I'm gonna hold out hope, Taylor, that you have not sent me into just a spiraling pit of despair, but it is not looking fantastic so far.
Yeah. How about I give you a bit more of an in-depth idea of where the story starts?
Yeah, okay, let's hear it.
Alright, here is the synopsis for you. In the mystical land of Fior, magic exists as an essential part of everyday life. Countless magic guilds lie at the core of all magical activity and serve as venues for like-minded mages to band together and take on job quests. Among them, Fairy Tale stands out from the rest as a place of strength, spirit, and family. Lucy Heartfelia is a young mage searching for Celestial Gate keys, and her dream is to become a full-fledged wizard by joining the famous guild.
This sounds like everything from the titles, all the names, the entire premise. It sounds like something a bunch of 15 to 17-year-olds who were really into anime, magic, Harry Potter, and fairies decided to just make one day. What's going on?
Well, allow me to continue.
Yep.
In her search, she runs into Natsu Dragni and his partner Happy.
Happy.
Happy, yes.
Just happy.
Just Happy. Doesn't need a last name.
Oh, cool. Okay, yeah, sure.
Who are on a quest to find Natsu's foster father, the dragon Igneal.
Oh my god. This is... Are you fucking with me right now? What's going on?
Well, it seems pretty straightforward to me, man.
This... I feel like you're about to show me like some parody or something.
Ooh, no. It's
This
not
is
clever
real?
enough for that. It is very real.
What? Like, if I were to make a satire of like high fantasy anime, this is what it would sound like.
Yeah, that's basically where the anime starts. And episode 1 is them meeting and then eventually joining the guild and then them going on adventures afterwards, meeting the different wizards and characters along the ways, doing some epic battles and, talking about friendship and family and whatnot.
My mind has been broken. I'm so confused and messed up. This entire episode has just been confusing me, and I don't understand where we're going. I feel like I'm being punked with this. I don't get it.
It's actually really straightforward once you get into it. Because it's literally what it says on the tin. It's magic people doing odd jobs and occasionally fighting things. I mean, that's literally what it is, with quote-unquote comedy sprinkled in. Sometimes they're funny. A lot of the times, though, the comedy just kind of falls flat, and it's very awkward. Young me loved the comedy.
Yeah, you know what else was supposed to have a lot of comedy? Oromonogatari, My Love Story, which was one of the least funny things we have seen so far, which apparently, as we've learned, Shaun, I got a lot of flack for that episode. Out of all the episodes, Oromonogatari is the one that people dislike my opinions about, but it's a not funny show. And so the fact that this is going to try and be funny, it's probably in the same camp, and people are probably going to get mad at me again because they're like, "Oh, you didn't understand." I don't understand. I don't. I'll freely admit that.
That's the entire premise of our show, Remington, is that you don't understand anything.
Oh, even the things I thought I did, I do not.
Yeah, I had to do something for you because this is actually such a straightforward show. I had to break you in some other way beforehand. So I thought I'd just kind of ruin your idea of what the best shonen anime are.
I'm such a confused boy. Okay, so we got the general premise. There's magic and there's a dragon dad.
Yeah.
Is he a dragon boy?
He is a user of Dragon Slayer magic.
Wait. Dragon Slayer magic?
Yeah.
Does he got some, like, Freudian complex where he's like, "Screw you, Dad. I know you're a dragon, but I have the Dragon Slayer magic, bitch."
Don't be ridiculous. His dad is the one that taught him Dragon Slayer magic.
But he's a dragon.
Yeah, your point?
Hey, here is the magic of serial murder. That's what I'm gonna teach you. I'm gonna teach you how to kill me or anybody else you want. It's real fun.
Isn't that just alchemy?
I'm so confused.
Oh,
what's happening? What's happening right now, Shaun? I'm in the Twilight Zone.
You're gonna be confused going in, but then when you watch a couple episodes, you'll be like, "Oh, this is just shonen kitty stuff," and you're gonna be like, "You even like this when you were younger?" And I'm gonna be like, "Well, yeah, because it had some things I liked. It had magic. It had fun things. I mean, Happy's funny sometimes."
What is Happy a creature, or are they just a person?
It's a creature.
Okay, what kind of creature?
Cat.
Okay,
kind of.
Okay, another kind of cat. We faced this kind of cat before.
Yeah.
Here's my one hope, Shaun. Everything I know has been turned on its head.
Yep.
the one thing I do still know is that I am a moe piece of trash. So I'm real hoping that Happy is just real cute and adorable, and I'll be able to embrace the cute cat creature Happy, and everything else will just fade away. That's my ideal right now. That's the only glimmer of hope, the only silver lining that I'm holding on to as we go through this very dark path.
I'm gonna be honest with you, Remington.
God damn it.
It's gonna be a coin toss.
Coin tosses mean no?
Well, we'll have to see. Let's go watch some episodes of Fairy Tail.
Not because of the anime.
No?
No, the anime. I had fun at the expense of the anime and you. Because the anime was utter garbage. I would like to apologize to Taylor if Taylor loves this anime, because this is not a good anime.
I mean, it has its positives.
It has like 3 good things about it, and then like 3 dozen negative things. That's about the ratio you're looking at.
It has a cool symbol, Remington.
It does have a cool symbol and a terrible name.
What's wrong with the name?
I hate the name so much. Oh, the name's so dumb.
Oh, it's kind of the whole backbone of the show is Fairy Tail. Yeah, that's the guild. Isn't that
Every
cool?
single guild is just magical creature and then adjective or limb. It's like, all right, you got Titan's nose, you got the blue Pegasus, you got the dark horse, it's just so dumb. Except the evil ones that actually have good names.
Yeah.
I don't know why the bad ones are the only ones with decent names.
Well, because they chose dark and edgy mythical things as opposed to just...
Well, then they didn't stick to the formula. It's like, I ain't complaining about Harry Potter houses because they're just using creatures. No, because they keep it simple, it's straightforward, it doesn't fit the exact same formula every single goddamn time, and there are only 4 of those. They repeated the formula for every single guild.
Do you have to bring Harry Potter into every anime discussion?
Yes, Shaun, I do. And we've clearly established that Harry Potter is my favorite anime.
I mean, I suppose it kind of makes sense considering this is a show about wizards.
See, even more fitting.
Yeah, I mean, kind of. I mean, they don't wave their wands around and do, flipendo and such.
No, I'll be honest, I didn't really care for the magic too much in this show.
Well, but at least there was a large variety of magic.
There was a decent variety.
And they all had different results from the different magics. That's something, isn't it?
I guess.
And I mean, hey, fire magic's really cool, but hey, what if it was dragon fire magic?
Yeah, so you got your main character right. As we've clearly established, there are 2 types of male anime protagonists. And that is either literally having no personality, which this was not. Instead, it was category B, which is, oh man, he's so young, rash, talented, but really emotional. He also loves food. Oh, if he had to be an element, I don't know, what element would he probably fire? Oh, but that sounds really cliche. What about he's that exact same thing, but it's because dragon. There we go, that's original.
But hey, dragons are cool. They add creature potential. They are big, scary monster.
Yeah, it's so great.
So, Remington, this is the part where I say that this was one of my favorite shows when I was younger, and you ridicule me for the end of time, because even young, stupid me should have realized all the problems with this show, but I didn't, because I enjoyed it because it was friendship, it was magic, it was lots of fun, it was, there was Erza.
If I want friendship to be magic, Shaun, I'll go and watch My Little Pony. The fact of the matter is, this show is bad. Fairy Tail is really bad, but it's a mockable amount of bad. So I enjoyed it, but it was so terrible. I didn't enjoy it because of what it was.
Well, hey, that's something positive. Maybe Taylor can take that into consideration.
I feel really bad for Taylor, especially if this was like one of his favorite anime. If this was one of Taylor's like favorite anime, then they are gonna be real disappointed. I love you, Taylor. I just don't like your anime.
I'm still hung up on the fact that you'd rather watch My Little Pony than this. Because, oh boy, that's really setting a very certain standard for you, Remington, and I don't think you're gonna like it.
Shaun, should we really delve into the episodes?
I think we probably should, but it's gonna hurt me the more we go into it, because not only did I like the show, I also had a crush on one of the characters, and that really, oh boy, I can't...
We'll get to my thoughts on that character, Shaun. Don't you worry.
Oh, this is gonna hurt me. I apologize, younger Shaun.
This is the episode where I crush young Shaun's dreams.
I'm better now, but that bias is still gonna be there. Okay, let's break it down episode by episode. Let's start with episode 1, the basic synopsis, which I gave for you in first half of our episode.
Yeah, so episode 1, you have the two main characters, they meet, and then you also have Salamander. Oh, and he says he's from Fairy Tale. Ooh, and everybody is adoring and thinking he's so great and everything is lovely. And then the girl Lucy is like, oh my god, it's so great. So he invites them over to the party boat. But the party boat is actually a sex slave boat, you see.
Well, they don't say sex slave. I mean, this is directed towards younger teenagers.
Of course, they never say sex slave. They just also try and use their magic to knock out exclusively women to take into as slaves.
They don't say slaves. They say merchandise.
Oh yeah. They just call women merchandise, which, as we know, is perfectly fine and A-okay. This is perfectly acceptable in society. And so it gets real weird and rapey, but it's basically all Deus Ex Machina because, turns out the main character, he's the Salamander of Fairy Tale. What? It's crazy. And then he kicks the bad guy's ass, and that's it.
And destroys half the port in the process.
Yeah, it was bad.
Bad?
There were so many moments in it that were terrible. Like, as a small one, you had Lucy going through the magic magazine, right? Because they were just those good old early 1900s magazines.
Oh yeah, wizards are interesting. Of course you'd read a magazine about wizards.
And you're like, so it's talking all about cool No, it just has a bikini spread, which Lucy is all about, which was just really weird and unnecessary and gratuitous. I'm fine with sexuality. I'm even fine with it being relatively explicit sexuality. I'm not a fan of fan service. Where it's just like, hey, look at the sex boys. I don't know. It's unnecessary and it always detracts. By definition, it is unnecessary.
At least they're probably 18.
That's the only thing they got going for them in that field. Because this is a minor spoiler for the episodes we're about to discover, but one of the main plot points is just Lucy being abducted and then either connotations of her being raped or her being really disappointed that she's not rapeable. That's it.
I mean, it wasn't rape.
Those are the two options.
It wasn't specifically rape per se.
Oh, we'll get into some of those.
I mean, it's, so what do you think about the three main characters that we were introduced to in the first episode then? You've got Natsu Dragneel, Lucy Heartfelia, and then Happy, the cat.
All right, so I thought maybe Happy would be adorable, and I'd like him. I hate Happy. He's not cute. He's super annoying. 0 out of 10. Hate him.
I agree with you completely on that one, actually. That's the one thing I always found annoying in the show. He has his occasional moments where he does get a one-liner, and that's kind of funny.
He had one really good one-liner where he was just, really psychopathic in that line, and I was like, if you went just, sociopath Happy, that would have been great. Great character right there, but they didn't, so it's just disappointing.
Yeah. Okay, then what did you think about Natsu?
He's your stereotypical anime shonen magic protagonist, doesn't add anything new to the table. I don't care. I've never been inclined towards that. Completely unoriginal in every single way.
But he was raised by a dragon.
Oh, he was raised by a dragon. Neat.
I mean, if you were raised by a dragon, you'd be bragging about that.
See, I'd be bragging about it, but the difference is I wouldn't be a meaningless cliche, so that's the major difference there.
What if by having the dragon parent, it automatically makes you the cliche?
Not worth it.
Not worth it?
Not worth it.
Fair. Okay, so Natsu, not a big fan of?
Nah.
No, at least he has an interesting fighting style. I mean, fire fists and punches.
Oh yeah, I've never seen fire fist punches, and the fighting choreography was not great. We have seen some phenomenal fighting choreography. We've seen a couple in these past episodes, Ruby, Full Metal Alchemist, that have had really nice fighting choreography, but this one didn't. It was very bare bones, basic. All right, he does his attack. He does his attack. Cool. That was it.
Yeah, no, definitely in the very early episodes of Fairy Tail, the combat does fall flat. Partially due to a really crappy budget, partially due to the fact that the show is kind of bad.
Yeah.
Look, I know it's bad. I understand that it's bad, Remington, but there's that little bit of me that's all like, oh, but it's Fairy Tail. How can it be bad?
It can be bad because everything is terrible.
Okay.
But we have one more character.
What about Lucy Heartfelia?
Lucy, I wasn't sure how I felt about her in the first episode, right? Because she had some okay moments and then some bad moments. Like, it was really obnoxious that her keys were thrown into the ocean and she immediately found them. But that's less her fault. And then, even towards the very end of the episode, she started actually making good points, talking about, like, the destruction of the city that Natsu had just created, and it was super overboard and unnecessary, and what the hell, man? And I was like, yeah! That's some good points. And then the military starts to show up, and Natsu is like, oh, we gotta go. And he starts pulling Lucy with, and Lucy is like, oh, what are we doing? What do you know? And then he gives her a smile, and she's like, this is a great idea.
But he's offering to let her join Fairy Tail, the guild of her dreams.
It just didn't have enough build. She starts out this talk about being cautious and unsure, and look at how unnecessary, and she just changes her mind as soon as he smiles at her.
Would it help if I told you that they don't end up together in the end? At least I don't think they do.
I mean, I guess that helps a little because that's a mild surprise, but it doesn't mean much because they shouldn't. They didn't have good chemistry at all.
I mean, there's only like 228 episodes or so.
228.
I might be fudging that a little if I'm honest. Let me just do some quick math real quick. Look on the bright side, Remington. This is the second anime we've done with fairy in the title.
Oh my god. How can there be so much fairy tale?
175 is in the first season, and in the second series there is 102.
What in the world?
So a total of 177 episodes in Fairy Tail as it stands.
I'm gonna make a bold claim right now. And a lot of anime fans are gonna get angry at this claim. I feel like if your anime is over 100 episodes, there's like a 98% chance that it's bad.
Dragon Ball Z has over 98 episodes.
And it might be in the 2%.
Sailor Moon has over 98 episodes.
Nah, probably not in the 2%.
Oh, that's mean. Sailor Moon is great.
I mean, it's been a long time, and
Where's
I've never
your
seen a
childlike
proper episode. But yeah, it's just too many episodes. I disagree on a fundamental level with that many episodes.
It's possible. Like, if they weren't good, then why would they still be ongoing? Wouldn't they have been canceled by that point?
No, it doesn't matter if they're good. All that matters is people watch them. There's a big difference, Shaun. As I've learned from this podcast, anime fans like fucking everything.
Not everything.
Everything except Forest Fairy 5 has gotten positive reviews, and less than half of them have been good.
Well, I mean, that's just because you're gonna find a fan for everything. Like, that's the same with everything, and the fact that review systems for anime are, biased sometimes.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you'll have a bunch of people who will either rate an anime highly and not many people rating it poorly, because it's a lot harder to get people to spitefully review these days when it comes to anime.
Oh, that's why I'm here.
Yeah, you're here to piss off a lot of people and crush my childhood dreams and whimsy.
Well, let's continue, because I have a lot of thoughts on episode 2 as well.
I'm sure you do. So, episode 2, they get to the guild, and Lucy is introduced to the chaotic nature of this guild, because Fairy Tail is definitely a chaotic good guild.
I'll be honest, really in episode 2, like, you had a weird rapey monkey that was uncomfortable, but one of the more amusing things of this entire show. But the thing that really sticks out to me about episode 2 is when they're talking about the guild to Lucy and introducing it, they have this one line that pisses me off so much. They're talking about it, and they just talk about everyone here has a scar, a wound.
Oh, God.
And it's like, oh, really? Just everyone is emotionally traumatized in your guild? If somebody showed up, they're a great wizard, super talented, but they're, like, really well adjusted. It's, sorry, mate. Can't you have you? Do you have any, like, familial trauma? Oh, no, I'm pretty well adjusted. Any, like, love life drama? No, I'm happily married. Have been for a really long time. Come on, man, you gotta give me something. I stubbed my toe last week. Was it traumatic? Just say yes. Sure? You're in, buddy. Like, how can you just say something so blanket statement? Everybody here has a scar. It's so cliche and melodramatic and unnecessary. Like, sure, everyone has had high points and low points in their life. I get that. But to imply that everybody has to be walking around with something darker, everybody in the guild, oh man, you're adding artificial depth to your characters. That's not how you build characters. You can't just say, oh yes, everybody is well fleshed out with really deep traumatic backstories. No!
Did I mention that this anime was beloved by, teenagers from the age of about 10 to 16, I think?
Yep, that's the demographic. That right there.
Yeah.
That angst-ridden demographic.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, he's, God. Because, 2009 was a rough time for me.
And then we get to the next episode, and they're taking on a job that's for 200,000, no wait, 2 million yen. And the price has been increased, and it's just to burn a book, to destroy a book, which should be nice and easy, right? And they're all like, wow, it seems nice and easy. All we need to do is to go into this house of the pervy old man, because of course there's a pervy old man, because that's what this show is for some reason about.
It's about fairy tale fighting bad people, but yeah.
Perverts, and especially Lucy being hypersexualized is a very even, like, the joke was pervy old man actually isn't interested in Lucy, but just with the way he was holding her and manipulating her, it was real bad. It was creepy and weird, and I didn't like it.
Yeah.
But with it, you think, okay, there's gonna be something that makes it difficult to destroy this book, right? So they go, and they find a way in. They find the book rather quickly, and then they don't destroy it. You want to know why? The big reason why? Because Lucy likes books.
Well, she liked the author specifically.
She likes the author, and she hasn't read this one, so you can't burn the book for 2 million yen. It's a good book. Well, she wants to read the book.
Well, then she was
and
like...
you may think, not a lot of build for that. That hasn't been built up in her character in the slightest. That seems like just an excuse for why they don't just burn the book, which was the plan. And if you thought that, you'd be right. It's so artificial. Instead of coming up with genuine plot points or complications, it's like, oh wow, that does seem like it would be an easy job. Why is it worth so much? Oh, it is just an easy job. Oh, artificial difficulty. Okay. But then, of course, the pervert discovers them, and he has a bunch of warriors because he's a rich pervert, and he goes on that, and there's a secret in the book. Oh, there's a secret in the book. And Lucy figures that out because magic.
Did you say there was a secret in the book?
There's a secret in the book.
Oh, what about the secret plans?
Oh man, the secret plans.
And the secret that we can't talk about.
Oh, there's some secret. If you're wondering what we're doing, that's what they did. Lucy is like, oh, there's a secret here. And everyone else is like, there's a secret in the book? And she's like, yes, a secret. And they're like, what's the secret? And she's like, oh, it's such a secret. It's a big, big secret. And the perverted old man is like, oh man, is it my secret? And she's like, it's such a secret. And they keep doing that. And it was so annoying.
Well, what about the battle with Virgo and the maids? How do you think
It was virtually non-existent. Battles with Natsu go like this. Wow, his opponent's got a piece of offense in. Oh, then he wins.
Yeah.
They punched him once, then he wins. Cool.
Yeah. Well, the second battle, they got punched twice.
Oh, and then they won. Yeah, it was real different.
Yeah.
And then they end up, the episode ends on some cliffhanger. It doesn't matter. They stretch it out to episode 3 and 4. But not all of 4, just for like 5 minutes of 4.
No, it was 12.
Okay, yeah, 12 minutes of 4. So they could have either made it 1 episode or 2 episodes. Nah, just 1.5. So then we have an awkward second half of episode 4. But finishing this little arc, they discover the secret of the book, right? They finally get it from him. They destroy the mansion, which early on it was established in the mission, like, why don't we just destroy everything to destroy the book? Oh, well, don't do that because then we'll get in trouble with the government. Then they just destroy everything anyway and nothing comes of it. That's it. Nothing comes of it. It's specifically mentioned not to do, and then they do it, and that's it.
Well, to be fair, I mean, the guy kind of destroyed the mansion himself a little bit because, you know, he had his burrowing powers and he kind of ruined the foundation, and I'm just making excuses at this point.
Yeah, real believable.
Yeah.
But then what is this great big secret of this book? They return it to the guy instead of destroying it. And the guy has a borderline existential crisis because he's like, why didn't you destroy the book? Which is frankly reasonable. If I paid somebody 2 million yen to get a job done, a rather straightforward, easy job, I expect it to get done!
Excuse me, Remington, but the currency they use in the show is called a jewel.
Oh, I'm sorry, 2 million jewels.
Yeah.
So 2 million jewels. If I paid 2 million jewels, I'd expect the job to get done. Nonetheless, they go through this tragic backstory about, like, his dad was the one who wrote it, big, dramatic. He cut his arm off for some reason, made no sense.
Because he didn't want to be an author anymore, so he cut his arm off. That's reasonable.
It was hyper melodramatic, and yet again, it wasn't that they had properly built up to it. They just shoehorned a bunch of melodrama in at the end and expected you to care. But then, it turns out, the magic, it's unleashed just before he lights the match and burns it. Just ridiculously perfect timing. How could his dead dad know to activate the spell just at that moment?
33 years later.
33 years later, precisely. And turns out, the book was actually a letter to his son. Oh, how heartfelt. Now you may be wondering, why did he write a secret magic letter to his son in a book that his son would likely never see and that was actually in the hands of a perverted old man who had blackmailed him in the past, which would just probably stay in the library the whole time if his son hadn't asked to destroy it, or if it had been destroyed, or if it hadn't been brought back to him at any point, or if the magic wasn't revealed at exactly that moment? Why didn't he just instead, write a letter to his son? Don't worry about it. That's it. Okay. Don't worry about it.
Okay, alright, okay, I've got to try and justify this. Okay, let's see. He didn't want to compromise his art as an author, so he secretly made a really good book hidden within a bad book so it wouldn't feel as bad, and they say he cut his arm off because he made the perfect book and didn't want to write anymore, so, it's, you know how fathers can be.
Yeah, so it doesn't make any goddamn sense.
It really doesn't.
So then, the rest of episode 4, we're only halfway through episode 4, and we get that finale of this arc that feels fully complete, feels like an end of the episode. And so the second half is just them filling time?
Well, not really. I mean, it's them on their return journey home.
Yeah, they go, and they're walking, and they find another fairy tale member, and there's tension, and they fight, oh, ha, 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 and then they all walk together, and they're walking, and then, oh, there's just another evil guild this time that shows up. Oh, all right, they're handled, everything is fine, cool. Oh, and then they're handled by a secret force. Who could that possibly be? And then that's the end. It just felt very awkward and shoved in there for little to no reason other than they finished the story of the episode too soon.
Well, that, and they did throw some foreshadowing in there about the next character that was going to show up in the 5th episode.
By foreshadowing, do you mean, oh man, this is who this character is. Oh, you should be real. This character's crazy, so strong, so powerful. Foreshadowing isn't, hey, this is coming up. That's not foreshadowing. Foreshadowing isn't yelling into a megaphone what comes next. And so sure enough, we see who they're talking about. Ooh, and that's the end of the episode.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's foreshadowing because they showed her in a shadowy form.
Before then immediately just showing her.
I don't know, Remington. I'm trying to justify this, man. I know my problem. It's a problem, and it's gonna stay a problem because childhood whimsy, damn it.
And then episode 5, there's this super evil cult, and so you meet Erza, and Erza is the one Shaun has a crush on.
I did. Past tense.
So he has a crush on her, and she's just like, oh, look at me, I'm the most powerful one of Fairy Tale, and I'm a huge bitch. That's her character. And it'll probably explore her soft side, show, oh, look at how human she can be, but she's still a bitch, look. I don't care. Didn't care for her.
Oh,
But she takes Gray, who's just, his entire purpose is that he will end up in his underwear. Haha, look, he's in his underwear every single time.
That's
it's a really bad joke.
Entire purpose. I mean,
and rival with Natsu.
Yeah,
you want to know why? Because he does ice and Natsu does fire. Get it? Because ice and fire, those are opposites. Get it? Do you understand? That's why they fight. That's why their personalities clash. Because they're opposite elements. Get it? Get it? Do you understand it?
I do.
Yup. And so she asks those two to come along, and then Lucy is just told, hey, maybe you should go along too. And so Lucy is like, okay, I'll go along too, because they just didn't have a good reason for Lucy to go along.
Yeah, because
they need Lucy.
Lucy is the titular character, emphasis on tit.
Oh yeah, it's just all about her boobs. And so they go, right? And then they have this really weird scene with you have the evil guild they're trying to go after. And everything is in, like, bright lights, over contrast, shadows to get real mysterious. And I kid you not, the dialogue is something along the lines of this. Hey, so we really need to get that item. Oh, yes. Once we get that item, that will accomplish our objective.
And then we will take down the guild members at their usual meeting.
Like, it's so ridiculously vague and weird and stupid.
It's the pronoun game, and that's what it is.
It's the pronoun game bumped up to 11, and pronoun game is already bad when you do it. When you speak in strange obscurities that people don't talk in. But the audience is watching, we don't want them to know yet. And then the second thing was something that happened a few times. They would occasionally just use more modern technology and then just call it magic.
But
like
it was magic.
There was a moment where they're like, oh yes, this is a light pen, so you can just write in the air. It looks a lot like just a whiteboard marker and a whiteboard presentation with this, but trust me, it's just because it's magic. Or my favorite was the magic four-wheeler that uses magic to go. What is this? It's a car. It's just a car. Instead of gas, it runs on magic. They were like, oh, cars aren't in this universe, but they can be if we do magic. So dumb.
Well, I mean, if the primary power source used for everything is magic, doesn't it make sense for a vehicle to be powered by magic as opposed to means like electricity and gasoline?
That it does, Shaun, but here's the issue. It's really shit world building. All right, so how would they do? How would their world look like with magic? Oh, I think it would just look like Oz, but instead of stuff, it's just magic stuff. Cool. Instead of electricity, magic. That's it.
I mean, the train was
That's
normal.
the world building. Yeah, the train was for some reason normal. Who knows why? Because the trains existed at that time, so they didn't feel the need to explain it. Real good world building, let me tell you.
I mean, the ship looked pretty normal, too, in the first episode.
Long story short, this is an abominable anime. My only enjoyment came from teasing you about it and making fun of the anime by and large.
I can't help it. I can't change what past Shaun did. I know right now current Shaun, old adult Shaun, understands the problems with this anime, but if there was a new season, I'd probably still watch it because I'm horrible and I'm trashy. I can't help it.
Shaun.
I can't help it, damn it. It's the childhood nostalgia is deeply ingrained in me. It could have been that for something like Naruto, but that didn't happen. No, I got out of the Naruto phase really quick. But this one, for some reason, resonated with me, and I don't know why, and it makes me upset.
It's okay, Shaun. I forgive you, but I'm not sure if I'll ever be able to fully accept you.
I mean, that's been the case since we first met. I mean, at least I don't have a bunch of fairy tale paraphernalia everywhere. I just literally have the one necklace hanging from a picture frame. That's it.
That's one too many.
It's a cool symbol. So what if I wore it in junior high? Don't judge me.
Oh, God.
I know. Junior high was a horrible time for me. Shut up. I was 14. Oh, God. This has been painful for me, Remington.
It's been great fun for me.
But let me tell you this. as someone who got bored of waiting for the anime, which probably won't get another season, because, some people believe it's bad and it's been a couple years, I read the manga to completion. Really shitty ending.
Doesn't surprise me.
Really bad ending, which is a shame because later in the show it does get better. Like, there are better combat, better action sequences, better characters, better things. Not great things.
Whatever you say, Shaun.
Better things.
Whatever you say.
Look, I try my best to be a good, reasonable anime fan. I like a lot of really good things, and I hate a lot of really bad things. Can I have just this one? Can I have this one thing that from my past has been deeply ingrained in my soul, Remington?
All right, you know what, Shaun? You are my friend, and I care about you. So, in this instant, I'm obligated to tell you no! This is how you grow!
It's horrible. I know it's bad, Remington. I know it's bad.
It'll be okay, Shaun. It'll all be okay.
Hers is not that bad.
Oh.
Yeah, she's strong, and she's got red hair. And,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, God. So, Remington, did you want to watch more Fairy Tail with me?
You know, Shaun, I'd love to.
I hate that you said yes.
But just with you, and just to see your pain.
Oh, God. So thanks for that, Taylor. Thank you for putting me through this kind of emotional trauma.
Thank you, Taylor, for the bad anime, but the great experience.
So if you enjoyed listening to mine and Remington's suffering, feel free to drop a review on whatever platform you listen on, whether it's Apple Podcasts, Podbean, Stitcher, and now on Spotify.
And if you would like to send us a comment, question, feedback, or recommendation just like Taylor, you can send that over onto animeoutofcontext@gmail.com.
Once again, thank you so much for listening, and I swear it was just a face!